Hey guys, Southern Sage again. Today I want to share with you my favorite way to do polycultures. I call it a shaker mix. You take whatever different varieties you want to grow, put them in a spice shaker, shake them up real good, and then scatter them across the area that you want to grow in. So, I do call it a shaker mix. I usually put them in Ziploc bags these days because I find that my ability to pinch seeds and sprinkle them is actually better than my ability to guide them with a spice shaker. But this is my favorite way to do spring greens and radishes and to do a variety of root crops. So the key is all of the things you put in the mix need to have small seeds. So like last year I did a mix with cilantro, lettuce, carrots, and radishes. Mixed them all up and sprinkled them in one of these wicking beds. And it was awesome because the radishes come up first and they shade the soil, and then the lettuces germinate, and then the lettuces shade the soil more, and that finally gets those flippin' little carrots to come up out of the ground. And so I can harvest the radishes, which then makes room for the lettuce to grow, and then as I harvest and cut the lettuce, the carrot tops have room. And after 6 weeks or 8 weeks or so, it's all carrots growing in there until I pull them up and eat them and put something else down. This year, in one of my two wicking beds here, I'm going to do a spring greens mix of spinach, kale, and arugula. And in the other one, I'm going to do a spring round of roots with a little bit of lettuce. So there'll be turnips, radishes, beets, and lettuce in that one. So it'll be in the ground a little bit longer. I'm putting these in the same wicking beds where we put the butternut squash in yesterday or the day before's episode. Because these are going to form the living mulch, and then the squash will climb up the trellis. So I will get maximum use out of these beds. So let me show you how this thing goes. Let's get down here where you can see. So these are the spinach, kale, arugula seeds. You can see they're just all mixed up in my little baggie. And because I have the two butternut squash hills at the back, I'm going to scatter across the front here with my seeds. So I just reach in, get some seeds, scatter them out. I'm trying to roughly kind of get them about an inch or two apart between seeds. This is, as you can tell, not a precise science, even remotely at all in the least. And if you get it a little too thick, don't worry about it, because all you'll do is eat those things first to thin them out. That is the beautiful thing about this method. Is extra weeding, thinning is really just salad. So we have all the seeds laying on the ground. These are all little guys, so they don't get planted very deep. So we're just gonna kind of rough the soil up a little bit with my fingertips. Now this is a little bit harder since we've had a lot of rain today and yesterday. When the soil is a smidge drier, it's a little bit easier to scatter the soil over. So I'm just going to stir it up until I don't see the seeds on the surface anymore. And there we go. We are planted. Ta-da! This works on any size bed that you're working on. So I've done this for 4x8 raised beds, 4x16 raised beds. Now in those I use a rake to shake the ground around, because that's a lot for crawling around on the ground with my fingers. But it works. So, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you try it. I hope you experiment with a bunch of different spring things and fall things that you can put together in these things, in these mixes, and just enjoy the polyculture craziness that happens. So, until next time, thanks for watching. Give it a like, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, leave me a comment, and let me know what you thought of it. Talk to you next time.